like only the floors were swept. The same beds were there, the same linen, the same furniture, same broken washing machine, a touch up here and there that looked like, some whiteout was used. The little bottle of whiteout back in the days where it had like a little brush in the inside. Yeah, it looked like that was used, right? Pots and pans were still there. Not one thing brand new. Not one thing, right? You saw a couple of scrapes here and there. And the bathroom and shower was appalling. A better description of it would put me, no doubt, in violation of YouTube's community guidelines, right? So I'll just say it was appalling, all capital letters, right? Oh, I think the Wi-Fi was included at the last minute. So I'm walking through saying to myself, this has got to be a prank, right? But no, this was real. So I get to the bathroom and the shower. And as soon as I saw the bathroom and shower, it was a hard no, right? Bathroom is super important. It's like a sanctuary, right? Shower, you clean yourself, all this stuff right there, right? There was mold on the ceiling, right? Mold is a very big problem here. But there was no effort even trying to hide it, right? The fixtures, the water faucet and everything was just done. It was just done. It had the same calcium buildup and all that stuff like that. The water pressure was no bueno. Although the house had a, like a gravity tank on the roof, right? The receptionist, he was like dead quiet. I'm just looking around, like he could tell I'm like disgusted, right? So I flushed the toilet. It didn't flush. He's like, that's gonna be fixed today. They told me about 1 o'clock the plumber is coming out, and so I say to him, so suppose I have to use the bathroom at 11. He's dead quiet. He doesn't say anything, right? So I go out back, right? They had a pretty nice sized, decent backyard. And the mangoes must have fell since, she moved out, right? There were bugs, mosquitoes, flies, just swarming around the backyard. All over the fallen fruit on the ground. The outside bathroom was just packed with who knows what, all types of junk. The air conditioners didn't work. To that, he's like, the remotes just don't have batteries. The fans were filthy. I looked at him and said, I'm gonna need my deposit back, right? He's like, the conflicto is ready, blah, 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 blah. I said, my man, let's go get my deposit. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna call such and such. I had a receipt, of course, right? Do get a receipt the same day, not a day after, not an afternoon, not an hour later, No, get your receipt while the ink is still wet, on the paper, right? You're gonna need your receipt, right? How else are you gonna prove that you left a deposit? How else are you gonna prove that, right? So he jumps on his cell phone, he calls realtor, and he's telling her, it's like he's not gonna be rented, he's, I'm pissed, basically is what he's telling her, right? So she's just like, well, what's going on? Everything was replaced and blah, blah, blah. And he's telling her, no, nothing. It's pretty much the same from when she moved out. It just looked like it was just like straightened up, right? So anyway, I guess she must have hung up the phone or whatever, so she was upset at you. I don't know. So he's like, you can come get your deposit this afternoon. It will be ready, right? Between that time and the time to get my deposit, I must have gotten like 16, 17 phone calls, all types of text messages. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Other properties they had. At that point, I was done, right? So, long story short, I got my deposit back, right? And I was just done with Central, right? At that point, so I got my other deposit back from the other house, right? And I was out, I felt like they were trying to play on, me wanting to be centrally located, because all the time I would get a text message like, you're lucky, this is super centrally located, you came with money in your hand. That's another thing I popped up with the pesos, I told you prior video before I came with pesos, she's like, most people come here, they schedule all these appointments to see everything, and then just to say, okay, well, I'm gonna go back and discuss it with with whoever, or, I'm gonna think about it, right? So I feel like they were playing on that, that I wanted which was just to their advantage, basically, right? They had a few other properties in the area, but man, let me tell you, it's way better and beneficial to deal with an owner, right, than to deal with an agency. Too many spoons in the pot spoils the dish. So my advice would be to deal with an owner. Anyone can pretty much show properties here, right? And this is supposed to be like a reputable agency, right? I don't know if there are any good ones, honestly. I'm just giving you my experience with this one popular one that's in Central, right? So that's a wrap for the video. By the way, I did eventually find what I wanted in the area where I wanted, and the house is still for rent. Stay tuned on the channel, Nomadic Soul Bro. We're gonna grow to 1,000 subs.